Aloha and welcome. In this lesson, we're going to be setting up our IoT core facilities. So let's go ahead and take a look. We're here at the login screen. I'm going to log in as the root user, and I'm going to be using the JSJ3 at hawaii.edu. And I'm going to use my password here and sign in. And I am unauthorized. Well, that's interesting to note. And yet it lets me in anyway. Okay, so yeah, not sure what that's all about, but we're going to go ahead and take a look at IoT core. So go up here and type in IoT core, and you're going to come across it right here. So click on IoT core, and it's going to bring you to the following menu. And what we're going to do here is we're going to go down and we're going to look at the security menu item over here. So click on security and go down to policies. So in here, we've got our AWS IoT policies. So we're going to have to create one for what we're going to do. So let's go ahead and create one for our Pico W. And what we're going to do is we're going to click on the create down here. And that's going to bring us to the following name. We're going to have to come up with a handy dandy name for it. So let's call it Pico W, or oops, Pico W slash policy. How's that sound? And then we're going to go down here and we're going to start setting up our different policies here. So the policy effect, we're going to say allow, and we're going to choose an action here. We're going to say IoT connect will be the first one. And we're going to go ahead and say add new statement. And we're going to do an IoT publish. We're going to say a new statement, IoT receive. Then we'll click new statement. And then we're going to go down to IoT subscribe. And that should do it. And the policy resource for each of these, we're going to use an asterisk on them for everything. Just like that. And that should do it. So after you've gone ahead and typed all that in, click on the create button down here in the bottom right-hand side. And once you've got that done, we're going to go to the next step. So now that we've got this done, our Pico W policy shows up down here. Next thing we need to do is, because we've just set up our policy, and that policy is going to let us essentially subscribe to, well, it's going to let us do a number of things here. It's going to let us do the connect, publish, receive, and subscribe to messages. And we're going to now go and we're going to set up our device itself, the Pico W. So what we're going to do next is, if you look on the left-hand side, you're going to have the option up there called All Devices. What I want you to do next is click on All Devices. And you'll see that we have things, thing groups, thing types, and fleet metrics. Click on Things. And guess what we're going to do? We're going to be creating a thing next. So we're going to come up with something well, let's come up with something nice to call it. We're going to create thing. We're going to just create a single thing for now. So we're going to click on next. The thing name, we're going to call it Pico W. How's that? Does that sound good to everybody? So we're going to call it Pico W. And then we're going to hit the, let's see, device shadow. We're not going to need a shadow or anything. Let's just go ahead and click on the next button. And we're going to auto-generate a new certificate. So make sure that you keep it selected here. Then we're going to click on the next button. So after we've done that, we're going to need to select the policy that we just created, because it's the policy that we want to apply to that device that we're doing. And after we've selected that one, we're going to go over here and click on Create Thing. So now we're going to need to download a number of keys that we just created. So The ones that we're going to do, first we're going to start with downloading the device's generated certificate, the public key and the private key, along with the Amazon root CA1. So let's go up here and let's try to keep all this stuff straight. So the first thing we want is the device's certificate. So we're going to go ahead and click on download here, and you're going to see it start out. It's going to give you a long name like this. Let's just, yeah, instead of going with that, because this is going to be kind of unruly, and you might run into, in Python, you might run into, yeah, you might run into problems with that. Let's take that part and call it Pico W certificate pem.crt. And then let's just click on save. So we've got the device certificate. So the next thing we want to do is get the public key. So we want to get the public key file. So we're going to hit download. It's going to give this big old, hold on, let's take a look and see what exactly we've got there. Yeah, so for the public key, let's go ahead and start that one. We'll call it Pico W public. So this is our public key. Click on save here. And then after we've done that, we're going to go ahead and grab the private key. And we're going to call this something similar. Pico W private key. And then we're going to get the Amazon root CA1. So let's see, right here, we're going to download this. Yep, and we'll just leave it named as it is. So that is going to transfer all those important files to our desktop, well, not to our desktop, I've got in the downloads. So after we've done that, we're going to go ahead and click on done, since that part is finished. Then we're going to go and we're going to click on the settings menu on the left-hand side. So if we go down, hold on, let's find settings right here. So if we click on settings, then we want to take note of the endpoint. The endpoint is going to come in handy a little bit later. So if you go through all this, hold on, where is our endpoint? Yeah, device data endpoint. Hold on, this is our endpoint right here. So we want to remember this. So copy that, put it somewhere safe for later use, because we're going to be using that. So go ahead and grab that and copy it, put it into Notepad or something like that, or into a note, and we will be using that shortly. So after we've done this and we've gotten our endpoint here copied, that's kind of the end of what we need to set up in AWS IoT in Core. So this will conclude this video. The next one, we're going to talk about setting up your environment for either Thonny or VS Code. So stay tuned, that's coming up shortly.